to the party where the nuts hang. It's just a rap thing.
And we're back with episode 77 of The Sounds of Struggle. I don't have morning wood.
I'm Paul Coffey drinking it in.
Man.
In the morning.
But I'm Chris Perish.
I'm still Paul Coffey.
Fine.
Meniac coffee. Buy it in bulk. Ripple the twine.
Regular or decaf?
We don't do that decaf bullshit. It's regular. Buy it in bulk. Ripple the twine. Tickle the butthole. It does it all.
Yeah, you have small beans.
Small and powerful.
Made in Colombia.
With cocaine.
Yeah. So, we are filming one day after the Stanley Cup Finals beginning, and the Vegas Golden Knights are now 3 games away from the Stanley Cup.
Yes.
And that was
3
one
wins in the final
That
away.
was one hell of a game.
Holy shit. That was exciting hockey.
Now, out of all the things, the intro, the game, the goals, the hits, could you have asked for anything more out of the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals this year?
Yes. To see Gladys Knight topless.
Gladys Knight.
She's the one that sang America the Beautiful.
I didn't watch that.
Ah, well, yes. See her topless.
I didn't get to watch the beginning of the game.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Vegas Golden Knights, you get a golden star for your
A
intro.
golden Knight star.
Yeah. But nonetheless, you get one for your intros because nobody does a pregame intro like the Vegas Golden Knights.
No one does pregame in general. At 3 o'clock, a Little John concert outside for free. It's cool.
Would you pay to go see him?
Well, no, but I mean, it's free, so I mean,
Zach.
if I'm around.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. We're white. It's not going to sound just like him, people.
Yeah! So my voice cracks, and my testiculars just dropped. Congratulations to me. I hit manhood.
That's what that was.
Yeah!
Ugh. Anyway, so 2 things are coming right out of the gate for the game 1. Tom Wilson, suspendable, not suspendable hit on Jonathan Marchessault.
Originally, I said yes. But after listening to you drone on about bullshit and birds and the bees, no, it's not.
Well, what I said is I listened to an interview with Kevin Weeks on the Jim Rome show, and
Former goalie,
yeah,
current analyst.
yeah,
He's an analyst.
exactly. But he said he talked to one of the guys from the player safety, and they said they give every player up to 0.8 seconds after a hit to finish a check on a play. This hit came about 0.75. So the reason why he got a penalty was because of or how close it was. So it was more of an instinctual call of understanding what 0.8 and 0.75 of a second in real time. Yeah, you're going to it's going to be debatable nonetheless.
Yes.
So that's why he got the penalty. But when you look at it, Tom Wilson's shoulder didn't attack the head of Jonathan Marchessault. It went into the body, went through the body. There was no head contact made. So it's no surprise to me that the NHL didn't suspend or fine Tom Wilson at all in this one. Because when you understand that, the amount of time he has to make it after a play, he was in that time frame. The body never made any contact to the head. It's really that simple that why should he have been suspended? Not to mention a guy like Jonathan Marchessault also defended the hit.
Yep.
He didn't say it was a bad hit. He didn't say anything negative about the hit. Well, it was funny that Tom Wilson flat out said, well, maybe you shouldn't have admired his pass, and he should have been more aware of what was going on.
True, rookie mistake on Marchessault's part.
And I'm more kind of a little bit curious why the concussion protocol people actually pulled him out to do that, knowing that his head was never actually hit.
Even though your head wasn't hit, you can still jar your brain.
Yeah, but I mean, that just, and that's why I'm making this comment, because shouldn't these guys have an iPad or something where they could review the hit and see if the head actually was hit at all?
No. If they see something that they deem maybe hit hard enough where the brain gets jostled, pull them regardless.
Yeah, but what they think and what actually happened are two different things. These people should be going off facts.
Wouldn't you rather be safe than sorry, though? I mean, maybe his head didn't get hit, but maybe when he fell, he hit the side on the ice. Or maybe just the sheer force of suddenly stopping is
But again,
enough.
That goes back to, does he appear to be concussed?
He did take a moment to get off the ice, so I can see why they pulled him.
Yeah, but I mean, nowadays, NHL players do have a tendency of selling the hit for a penalty.
I don't know if that was selling the hit for a penalty. That was more just, he didn't see it coming and got rocked. He deserved it.
Yeah, but he also, exactly. But that doesn't mean he got rocked in the head. Sometimes, if you just got the wind taken out of him, I mean, you're going to have that same kind of feeling, even if you got hit in the head a little bit. You're kind of like, okay, I got to take a second.
I guess. I see why they did it. I'm not mad at it. I get it.
But, I mean, again, like, I think this, for me, I would definitely, I don't know if they do or not, but I'd like these concussion protocol spotters to be a little bit more understanding if there's actually, because if there's no headshot at all, why would you even question if he has a concussion? I mean, the guy's not getting a concussion if you got hit in the chest.
You can still do it. If you're going fast, suddenly you stop, your brain still smacks the front of the old dome cover there. And
yeah, but what you're saying is that he actually got hit in the head in some way.
No, not at all.
Yeah, because his head would hit the dome.
I'm saying his brain would hit the dome, aka his skull.
Yeah, which is your head.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're going somewhere and suddenly stop.
Huh?
You're just being a douche.
But I'm just saying, if there's no invisible, like, if you review and there's no contact to the head at all, you wouldn't pull him out.
No, I could see them still pulling him off. I really could. The brain's a fickle thing. You can literally get a concussion sitting down. It doesn't take much. It all depends on how safe your brain, how you're doing, what you're doing. My brother got a concussion sitting down. True story. He's a walking disaster.
Did you make fun of him?
Every day.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I'm like, you have to be pretty dumb to get a concussion sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay. That's covered. Anyway, my second point, David Perron does not get suspended with his cross-check over Alexander Ovechkin, but had his cross-check evolved into a melee fight out of any sorts, he would have got a 10-game suspension. My thing...
Do you think for sure it would have been 10 games?
Yep, because in the rules, you're not allowed to make a line change, and your first full... the first act that you do is a deliberate act onto another player. In that case, it was. The first thing he did when he made the line change was cross-check Ovechkin. And his initial point of, like, you can tell that he wanted to cross-check him. I don't think he was told to fight him, because his body language definitely suspected otherwise. But I definitely do think he was very close with that incident not becoming more of I don't want to say public thing, but more bigger than what it was. Because, man, if that ended up becoming a fight, I don't think Vegas could stand losing David Perron for the entire Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, you got a point. Basically, David Perron, don't be stupid.
I don't know. I don't necessarily say he was stupid, because what we know is that you're asked to do things. We don't know if that was not legitimate. Hey, here's the thing. You see Ovechkin there? Get in his grill. Do something.
There's other ways to get in his grill besides coming off the bench and cross-checking him over.
100%. But, you know, like, a 2-minute penalty is all you're going to get out of it, and then all of a sudden that play can get you either inside a guy's head, take him out of the game mentally, or even, you know, not saying anything else, but I mean, if you think that there's a chance where you can make that player less effective, I mean, you'll probably take it.
Yeah.
So
some people would, yes.
But yeah, I mean, that was a very tricky decision because had that gone wrong, an automatic 10-game suspension could have been there.
Yeah.
Probably not the greatest decision made.
No, that was dumb.
But fourth line, Vegas Golden Knights,
Fucking killing it.
+8 collectively. When your fourth line is +8 in a game, you stand a very good chance of winning that game.
And they did.
Yeah. So needless to say, guys, like the top guys in the series need to be better if, you know, like for Washington, I mean, the Backstroms, the Ovechkins, the Holtbys,
Kuznetsovs.
they all need to be better if Washington wants to win this series, because even though it was back and forth, man, there's a lot of depth scoring, a lot of second, a lot of third scoring going from Vegas that you really have to make each team make the first mistake and capitalize on it, because you know it's going to happen.
Capitalize.
Pun was intended.
Well, keeping with the whole Ovechkin thing, you see that he took the Prince of Wales trophy home, put it on his little table there in the dining room. That's funny. I like that. I hope he doesn't ever give it back.
He doesn't get to keep it.
I hope he never gives it back. That'd be funny.
Could be the only trophy he gets to touch this year. So
Yeah, that's why I hope he never gives it back. Also, a couple things about Vegas. The Vegas bookers are freaking the hell out right now.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people who bought tickets at 501 for them to win the Cup. That would give them $50,000. And there are tons of those tickets out there. So they're saying, right now, come back and give it to us, we'll give you 100 to 1 odds. So that's $10,000. Cash in hand, right now. What would you do? Do you...
Well, right now, I'd see my ticket through.
Oh, fair enough, but I mean, say before the series.
Why would you bet against a team now?
It's not betting against the team, it's more of, you have $10,000 in hand right now. Maybe you're a little strapped for cash. Maybe you need that money.
But this is the thing, you look at what you just, like, what the decision you made, and you're like, oh, okay, they were a long shot to even do this.
No, that's true.
Now we're there, and they're a favorite, and they're closer than any other team is.
Any other team, yeah.
And they have the home ice advantage.
Yes, they do.
To do this. I would look this decision through, and I'm like, well, you gone this far? Now they want to make this bet? Why are they saying this?
Because they're going to lose a shit ton of money.
Exactly. There's a fear that they have to pay more money than what they're willing to go with. They're willing to take a smaller loss right now in the hopes that this could entice you to not get that big payout. But
that's exactly what they're terrified. They're going to lose potentially millions on this.
So if you made this decision, now you should honestly look at it and be like, look, if I want to capitalize on this decision, you need to think about it. And the thought process is, you're in a good place and a good situation where this decision can be at its maximum value. Go for it. And that's my opinion, because this team is willing. They have shown you no proof to why you shouldn't bet on them now.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if you're smart enough to bet on them early, even if you just thought it was funny, or if like, hey, the odds are bad, let's just see what happens. You know, now it's absolutely scary to how factual that a Vegas Golden Knights hockey team right now on May 29, 2018 could very well walk home with the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
I mean, yeah, smart. Like, if you just want the money now, okay, cool, take it. But if you want to actually see what your value, like max value is, you're in a damn good spot right now.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, Vegas Golden Knights was they won the Sports Business Journal and Daily Sports Team of the Year award.
Yeah.
I don't know what that Sports Business Journal and Daily is. I guess it's a magazine.
Yeah.
But they got Sports Team of the Year. Good for them.
Well, I mean, how can you not agree with the Vegas Golden Knights being the best story in sports right now, and possibly, I mean, they win the Stanley Cup in their first season. That's something that I guarantee you will not see
until at least the next time there's a new team.
I mean, how many years has there been when there's been a professional...
Like, first team ever to do it? Last team to do it? Toronto Arena is 1918. Literally, 100 years ago.
So, and the situation there was...
This is once a century. And the situation was, well, I'm pretty sure there was, what, back then, 6 or 7 teams, so...
And was it the first time all those teams were in the...
A couple of them, I think.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're starting off in a league where there's 31 teams, and you're an expansion team in this day and age, and you're 3 games away from the Stanley Cup. The ultimate prize, you're 3 wins away.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think there's a better story in sports. Even if they don't win the Stanley Cup, is there a better story in sports right now? And if you say no, also ask this, in the last 25 or plus years?
No.
I mean, as much as, like, the Boston Red Sox winning their first title, as much as
Cubs.
Chicago Cubs winning,
Yeah.
this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because the odds are more improbable, and which is ironic, because when you want betting and you talk about the odds of some, you go to Vegas, and the irony is, it is Vegas
You go
that
to
are
Vegas.
defying
In
the
Vegas.
odds. Like, it's absolutely incredible of what we're actually getting a chance to see. And if by chance you don't get to see Vegas win, a guy like Alexander Ovechkin gets his first Stanley Cup, and the Washington Capitals win their first cup.
Either
Ever.
way. Not a bad
No.
trade.
And then you look at the NHL. In the last 4 Stanley Cups, 7 teams have been appeared in those Stanley Cup finals. Pittsburgh Penguins being the only team to have more than one appearance. Whereas we look at the NBA,
What was that last
last 4 years in the NHL,
4 years? Okay.
7 NHL teams, 7 different NHL teams have appeared. In my amazing ability to segue into the NBA, the last 4 years, same 2 teams.
Yes, officially, Golden Knights, Golden State. Jesus.
Golden State Warriors.
I got Golden Knights on my brain. Got the old Vegas team on the brain.
Hey, it's a story that's just on everyone's head right now.
Yes, Golden State Warriors facing off again against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
For the 4th time in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I guess go Cleveland.
The first time in, I believe, the major sports where this has happened.
4 times in a row?
Yeah.
Last time I can remember it happening semi like this, 2008, 2009. Detroit and Pittsburgh, back. But
Yeah.
it was, they each won one.
It was only 2.
There's only 2. That's the only time I can remember it.
Maybe
Maybe back in, like, the original 6 days of the NHL.
But I don't think it was 4 teams in a row, though.
No, it might not be, but I mean, there's a possibility.
But I honestly think you're going to look back in 10 years now, looking back, and be like, wow, it's very rare that one team makes the finals 4 straight years, but you have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, if Golden State is to win, I mean, you just won 3 out of 4 years.
Pretty good team. Pretty good dynasty.
And that's just the thing. Like, you don't get to see this type of dominance, and everyone else says, well, this is last year for Cleveland. But I'm pretty sure he said the same thing last year. If LeBron James decides to stay in Cleveland for next season,
I guess he's taking them to the finals on his back again.
well, I mean, and that's just the thing. Like, how do you count him out? LeBron James might
You can't count him out.
He's the
ever.
best player in this generation for basketball.
He could be one of the best, if not the best, of all time. I mean, he's definitely not out of the conversation.
Well,
Mount Rushmore, for sure.
he's in the conversation, but I don't think he wins. But just because you're always going to throw, well, how many rings does LeBron have?
No.
Okay, it's only, 3?
Sure, he didn't change the game like Michael, but he did
I don't think it's so
dominate.
much change in the game, but I think you look at Michael Jordan having 6 rings, being what, I think he's won 2 3-peats. And he was one of the most clutch players ever.
I mean, LeBron's basically similar to that,
But then you also put in a guy like Kobe Bryant. I don't know. Yeah, like it's one of those things where then you had the Wilt Chamberlains of the world, and then you had
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
yeah, like it's
What about Larry Bird?
he can fly away.
Okay.
I don't know.
Flipping the bird.
Yeah.
I have an interesting stat, actually. 78% of all NBA players had not made their debut the last time LeBron missed the finals.
Yeah, well,
The finals! 8 years ago, 78% of the league wasn't around.
actually,
That's insane!
actually years ago he's playing in his first, so it would have been 9 years ago.
Okay, sorry, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
9 years ago. 78% of the league, almost 80% of the league wasn't playing. That's insane.
Yeah.
When's the last time he missed? That's crazy.
It says a lot about how much of a star player he is, because he just didn't do it with the Cavaliers. He also have done it with the Miami Heat.
4 years in a row with Miami.
Yeah. So, and I don't know. A lot of people I know that don't like LeBron based on the fact that he has left Cleveland. And I'm like, and I firmly agree. The way he went about that decision could not have been any more douchier.
No, it could have been. It definitely could have been.
But, like, it was a douche-ass move.
Yeah.
The way he went about it. A press conference just to say, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And it's like, you might as well just decided to flip the whole city off. Just throw up the finger and say, fuck you, Cleveland. I'm going to Miami.
Hence all the jersey burnings.
Yeah. I mean, not to mention, a city like Cleveland, you should understand when they have lost so much.
What? They
for
have a
so
great
long.
football team.
But I mean,
The best. They're undefeated.
but I mean, they had the Browns, which were bad, and then they lost them. They actually lost the Cleveland Browns. They got them back, but they lost them. So they went in all through that heartache. The Cavaliers were atrocious. That's how they got LeBron James. And then the Indians. They never won.
Up until, 2 years ago, they were not good at all.
And what have they done? They haven't won. I mean, they are used to losing in that, to where when they feel they have something worth celebrating about, like a LeBron James, they cling so much more to it, more than they probably should, and more that's probably even fair to LeBron. So the way he left, completely douchey, 100%. But he came back. Before he left, he took you to the finals. You lost, but he took you there. He left. Yes, he won championships, but he also learned how to win in Miami, and he brought that back to Cleveland, where he brought a world title to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then he's making the Cleveland Cavaliers respectful in the league, where they have been to 4 straight championships.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost 2 of them. They've won 1.
But hey, just
They're
take them.
huge underdogs for this year.
Yeah, you want to get some coin, spend a bit of cash on
But at least LeBron James cares enough about Cleveland to do what he has done for Cleveland. And without LeBron, Cleveland is still a loser in the NBA.
Isn't he from Cleveland?
Yeah, Akron.
I don't know what that is.
It's a city in Ohio,
I'm sure.
right outside of Cleveland.
Sure.
So,
should we talk about the Memorial Cup or the Oilers' new assistant coaches?
well, I mean, we can talk about both.
Memorial Cup. Congratulations to Acadia Bathurst for their win over Regina St. Pat's.
As of last week, that's exactly who I said would probably win.
You're right. You are right. My pick
The
originally.
Tetons are the champions.
My original pick didn't win a damn game.
I blame everyone but Skinner.
Yeah, they that team didn't show up to play.
The team just needs to learn how to score. And with a Mr. Hebig, who's an Oiler pick and a prospect, not a picks, just prospects we trade for him. Gotta show more, buddy. Gotta show more.
Yes. And the Oilers are showing more. There's a segue.
Now,
3 new assistant coaches. Who are they, Perish? See if you can name them off.
Glenn Gulletson, Manny Viveros, and Trent Ianni.
Hopefully he doesn't make us Yanni with their offense
Well,
and their defense.
Yanni actually came from Swift Current.
Yes. Wait, wasn't it Viveros?
One of the fuckers came from Swift Current.
I think Viveros. But anyways, one of them did.
Viveros.
Exactly. So are you excited for this?
I'm interested because
I'm hoping we see some sticks and F-bombs fly in practice.
I don't, because we have an expensive arena. He got away with doing that in Calgary because they have a shithole of an arena.
Fair enough.
Which, by the way, against Calgary, the city of Calgary want to reopen talks with the Flames for the arena. A new arena.
Hooray! Or whatever.
It's actually about fucking time. Just get that team a new arena. I mean, trust me, it saves the team. Anyway, going back to the assistant coaches, I think the fact that there are a few caliber head coaches in different areas as your assistants, I always said a good hockey team has depth, or a good team has depth. So if you have a top line player in your second line and a second line player in your third and a third line player in your fourth, you're gonna have a great team because they're not because your depth shows that, okay, you have a collection of this great talent playing maybe a little lower than where they should, but they're just going to always exceed expectations because they are better than that average player playing in that position. And I think we finally have that in coaches to where we have a couple of coaches now in Viveros and Yanni who know how to work with defensemen. Yanni knows how to work with defensemen, the younger defensemen. So I look at the Matt Bennings of the world, the Ethan Bears of the world, and then I look at the Darnell Nurses of the world and say, if you guys don't capitalize on this, you guys are fucking morons.
Sure.
Because these are the coaches that are going to help you exceed to the next level. Darnell Nurse wants a good contract. There's a good chance he's going to get a bridge contract this offseason. So after that bridge contract, if he wants to make the most and get top dollar, listen to these coaches because they're going to help him get there. And he's by far the biggest one out there because he is the bigger of the 3 names that I named.
You know what else is going to help him?
And Glenn Gulletson is a head coach. But my thing is, with this guy right in the helm, a lot of pressure is on Todd McClellan and making sure that the Oilers come off doing well. Because if they come off doing a bad beginning of the season, there's a good chance he gets the shaft and a guy like Gulletson becomes the coach or the interim coach.
Shirley gives McClellan the shaft.
But
right in the pooper.
But, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on McClellan for having to do that. But at the same time, I believe McClellan also named these coaches, so he still has the backing of management for this decision. But that also goes with the pressure. Be like, look, We can't afford another bad season. We gave you what you wanted. And you had full say. Deliver. You don't deliver.
You down. You know what else could help get Darnell Nurse that bridge contract? The fact that the salary cap could go up to as much as $80 million next season.
Well, I believe that's what, a $4 million raise?
5.
So, with that extra 5, let's say it's a soft 80 and we give it 5. I don't think he is going to get a moronic amount. I think he's probably going to get between 3 and 4 million a year.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty...
The moronic amount goes to the McDavids of the world.
I think the moronic for him, and I look individually for him, is anything over 4 is moronic. Because I don't think he did enough last year to warrant 4, but he did enough to get that 4. So, anywhere between that 3 and 4. Now, I think the term of the contract is going to be the stickier. Because if he wants to sign a longer term deal, then I could see that cap and that number going up. But if it's a bridge deal, there's a couple things come into play. Because obviously you have that ability to do a bridge deal because of the fact that he's an RFA, not a UFA.
Now, for those out there who don't understand, myself included, explain a bridge deal.
A bridge deal is more or less a 2-year deal because it gives you that. A lot of players, because of their age, you can sign up to, I believe it's 3 contracts as an RFA before you become a UFA, or you got to get to the age of 25. So, if you're 18, you sign a 3-year entry-level deal, you're 21. Then if you sign a 1-year deal as an RFA, you're 22, and then another one at 23. By the time that one ends, you're UFA because you did 3 contracts as an RFA. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. And then if you sign a bridge deal, say, after your entry-level deal, that's at 18. So you're signing one at 21, you're now 23, so you can then still offer another RFA deal and give him a 3-year deal, and then he's 26, and then. So it all just matters on, because you want to keep that RFA status.
Long as possible.
Well, because then you can qualify him at the end of the year, and that allows teams to, they have to offer sheet the RFA to get him. Whereas, if you don't qualify him, he becomes a UFA.
Yeah.
And you've seen this with Chicago in the past.
Yep.
When they did not qualify, they all became unrestricted free agents, and then they went elsewhere.
Yes.
Now, the fun part of this whole thing, Darnell Nurse, I don't think I think he started his entry level deal when he was 20. So I think he's 23 now. So a bridge deal takes him to that number 25. So it also allows you to have some flexibility with the cap, because then you have a chance to sign a guy short term and let him maybe not have a big cap hit now, but once this cap once these 2 years are done, then you can sign him to that big deal. But in that sense, after these 2 years, you're now burning 2 years off other contracts. So you're not really murdering your cap now, opposed to running the risk of hopefully having cap room in those 2 years, and then you can put the money down. So
there it is, folks.
Those are just a couple things that I can think of right now.
Let's see here. Back to management coming and going. Oil Kings GM is leaving to become an NHL scout.
Is that Laxall?
Yes. They didn't say in the article I read where he's going to be a scout.
He's
going to be an amateur scout somewhere. I don't know what team. I don't know where. He's going to be a scout.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Oilers are smart enough to pick up on that. The Edmonton Oilers do own the Oil Kings.
Yes.
But they still have to hire Laxall as their assistant coach if they were to get his services. But I don't.
But
think...
he's been the GM there for 11 seasons. So he was there through the thick and the thin of it.
Got a Memorial Cup.
Got 2 Memorial Cup appearances.
Yeah.
3 straight
WHL
championship appearances. 2 wins.
So, yeah, he does have a pedigree behind him with the scouting aspect. I don't think it's out of the realm to see him in the next few years in the AHL as a coach.
You think so? You think he'd go from scout to coach that quickly?
I wouldn't be surprised with it,
No, fair enough.
because with his knowledge of how to not only see talent but then how to improve them and how to develop them. An NHL club will definitely see the value of that, especially for their AHL club.
Oh, fair enough.
So, it's not the biggest gap in terms of decision.
Fair enough. I only have 2 more things. Vander Kane signed a 7-year, $7 million deal.
Yeah. I think this replaces the Joe Thornton deal in San Jose.
I agree. I don't know if he deserves it. I've never been impressed with Vander Kane.
No, but I think it's the fact that they want a top 6. Like a top 6 scoring forward.
Yeah.
And if Vander Kane does fit that bill,
if he can control his ass hattery and bullshittery, then yeah, they definitely could.
I also think that San Jose looks at the potential. Okay, well, we lost Marleau. Thornton's not what he used to be. We got to build a pedigree here. You talk about a team that definitely has pressure to win now. If it's not San Jose, I don't know who is. Because
Anaheim.
Because they keep,
LA.
Yeah, but another thing about Anaheim and LA is they've won.
True.
San Jose has not won yet. They have yet to even really... They've made 1 Stanley Cup appearance. But again, that's with the Marlows and the Thorntons, who are now either gone or diminishing.
Yes.
Thornton has flat out said he's willing to take less money to stay in San Jose.
Why wouldn't you? It's beautiful down
So you flip the 2 salaries apart, and there you go. But I do think Evander Kane fits the mold of what San Jose is looking for. Therefore, they're willing to spend because they know if they wanted to keep him, they're going to have to pay him, or else another team will. And believe me, another team would have paid him. And we all know when you become a UFA, July 1 comes, there's a lot of people making a lot more money than they typically should be making.
True. Just kind of get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overpayment is a popular thing on July 1.
And then you realize, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And last thing I had, Gary Bettman saying the expansion talks are not on the table for the June owners meeting. Possibly in the fall.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I think it's undeniable to say that it's just a matter of time before Seattle's like, yeah, you got a team. There it is.
Well, I mean, think about this. I mean, they just had an expansion team last year with Vegas.
I have a feeling 2021, there will be the first year.
You want to give a little bit of a gap in between.
Okay, 2025.
No, but I just mean, like, you don't want to do it, like, this next year after Vegas.
Okay, 2030.
So, I don't think it's, like, the worst idea for them. Not to mention, you're probably going to see changes in the way the expansion draft, if that's the way they go. I'm sure they will. It's going to go. But at the same time, you're now going to have 32 teams in. You got to work out a new salary. Like, there's a lot of things you got to change.
2056, my final offer.
So, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't, it's not surprising to see that they're willing to, okay, we'll push it back. It's not going to be next year.
No.
It's probably not going to be the next season. It's probably going to be the season after that, if.
2021, 2022 season.
Or the 2020-21 season.
Maybe.
Because we still got the 2018-19 season and then the 19-20 season. So probably the 2021 season is my prediction that you'll see Seattle with a team.
2057. That's my prediction.
Well, there'll probably be
another team by that point.
team in there.
My thing is, who do you move over from Pacific to Central? Because they're the one minus a team. I would say, honestly, the one that makes the most sense.
Because
doesn't the East
still have one more team than the West?
No, both divisions in the East both have 8, and Pacific has 8. Central has 7. So right now it's all about who would you move from the Pacific, because Seattle can't not be in the Pacific. They're literally the Pacific.
Yeah.
So I'd say honestly, Arizona. They're the closest over.
But at the same time,
makes the most sense.
The reason why this could be a couple years away is because this gives them time of finding out what is our long-term plan with Arizona. There is no guarantee that Arizona will be.
Okay, we'll say hypothetically, it happens tomorrow, I'd say Arizona moves over to Central. A few years from now, Arizona, oh, look at that, they moved to Quebec. Detroit moves over. There it is.
I don't think Detroit will move over. I think I would actually see Columbus being a better fit of moving over than Detroit.
So then who would you put into the
if you're going to do that? Columbus.
Yeah, but Columbus is Metropolitan. They'd move over to Central, so who would go to Metropolitan then?
I think you can get away with...
maybe Buffalo?
You know what? I'd really have to look at the teams right now because they're just not all appearing at... I mean, I'd really have to look at it. But I mean, at the same time, there's no guarantee that you need to make that decision right away. I mean, we saw Winnipeg for 1 year in the East.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not out of the realm that, they can make a short-term plan for a long-term game.
Fair enough.
So, now, a Seattle team would be beneficial, but at the same time, you look at, where Atlanta is. Also, as much as I don't want to say this, if the contract talks with the new arena doesn't work out in Calgary, that could also be a team on the move.
Very true. You imagine that, a former Stanley Cup champion team gone.
Well, then you also look at Carolina.
They might be on the move too. Back to Hartford with them. There it is.
Well, I think
Columbus moves over to Central, and then Hartford goes into the Metropolitan.
I think we both know that if the East is going to get another team, Quebec City is the most likely of scenarios. Also, I wouldn't be the first to ignore a city like Kansas City.
The Scouts back?
Just saying, Kansas City.
What about Houston? Like the whole thing about they want to expand to Houston for some reason.
Oh my God!
I saw all that water there after the hurricane. They're like, wonder if that was frozen, how that would look.
There's probably plenty of markets that can make a bid. But,
Tijuana.
But you look at what makes sense.
Tijuana Rum Runners. It has to happen.
So, that's just my thing.
Oh, fair enough.
But,
now, I don't know as much about this as you probably do. NFL flag policy was rolled out. What,
yeah, I didn't.
What?
I didn't pay attention to that.
Because it seems like it's actually favoring the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Like, he was right. Like, I think,
from the sounds of it, they're doing it. I think the decision was made just to appease both Trump and the players.
But I don't think it appeases the players. I think it pisses them off. Because now, if they go on to one knee, they're suspended or something like that.
I think it's one of those things where it appeases the players in the sense of, look, we have acknowledged your position. But at the same time, this is not a political time to do so. This is not this is not a platform
for your political agenda.
Yeah, this is a platform to play football and to entertain the fans,
and to get massive deals on Nikes.
But I think it's just drawing a line in the sand. Not to mention, when the president does make a fact, whether or not we agree with what he said, because I know a lot of people do not agree with how or what Donald Trump said, but when the president of the United States is giving this incident attention and he doesn't like it, he has the ability to override a decision that does not help the league. So the league needs to find a best possible solution. And to be honest, telling the players, don't disrespect the anthem that you're playing in is not the worst thing to do. Whether you do not like something that's going in your country, that's fine. But when you come to work, do not bring it to work. How many times do we go to work and want to do something differently and don't? If we knew we did something differently because of it, we'd probably get in trouble. We'd probably get fired. This is just more or less a situation that the NFL just said, look, either do it this way or you'll be fined, you'll be suspended, possibly terminated.
You're terminated.
If you have political agenda, we're not. I don't say that there's like, look, we don't support you on your political agenda, but just don't bring it into work. If you're coming into work, work.
Come to work.
If you want to be a politician, then leave the NFL and become a politician.
All I'm getting from this is the NFL condones and all hail President Trump, Commander-in-Chief,
But
for all the sovereign nations of the world.
I did like Antonio Brown's Twitter response where it just showed him taking a knee based on the decision. So
that's good.
But at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, there's a time and place, and this just isn't the time.
Fair enough.
That's...
Also, my Packers signed tight end Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
That's good?
Well, you did need it. Well, I mean...
Hooray for
it gives you depth on the tight end position, because you do have Jimmy Graham now.
Hooray!
It's always... Well, I mean, you look at some of the teams in the NFL, even the Patriots, for example, they had Gronkowski, and then they brought in back Bennett from... Green Bay, but I mean, the two tight end isn't necessarily a bad way to go. It's becoming more popular in the NFL game because sometimes you have a tight end that could be an option or it could be a decoy. Sometimes not that. Sometimes you don't get that in the same player. Sometimes you do have to get it in a couple different ones. Ever since Jimmy Graham was traded to the Seahawks, I've noticed that the Saints always ran by having a couple. I mean, we did have Kobe Fleener for a bit, but then we also had a guy like Josh Hill who has stepped up. And then we had Humanawawi.
Huh?
Yeah, Samoan.
Humanawawi?
Yeah.
Humanawawi, what a name.
It's a wicked name. Got him from the Saints, from the Patriots, actually. He was the backup to Gronkowski. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where sometimes you want a good blocking tight end, which if you knew anything about Jimmy Graham, you know that's not him.
Fair enough.
But then sometimes you want a tight end that can make plays, like what Jimmy Graham can do. So it all depends on what you want out of it. It's not the worst thing in the world to have a couple guys in that position because hypothetically, it's possible guy gets injured. So you need somebody to replace said guy.
Exactly.
That's what we call depth, people.
Speaking of depth, Eskimos preseason game, we were there.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty good. I mean, I get it's the first preseason game. I get that. But they looked good.
They also played the fucking Riders.
Who looked bad.
They always do.
That's true.
I mean...
There, you can tell that the Eskimos...
They look like a couple of berries on the field.
Saskatoon ones. Yeah. But you can tell that the Eskimos are trying to ramp up and do their best to get a Grey Cup at home.
Yeah, but with that said, I will say the Eskimos are going to have one hell of a time with their... They just take too many penalties.
Yeah.
They got to get more composed. Their composure, for one.
Need to keep their composure!
But, I mean, that's just the thing. They got to understand, okay, we made a good play. Cool, yeah. Cool. We made a good play, but then you got to go back and you got to do it again. Sometimes they get a little bit too riled up. Sometimes they get a little bit too into it. But they do take penalties here and there that can hurt them. I don't think they have a superior defense like they've had in the past. I don't think they necessarily have a superior offense. They might have a pretty good one, but they don't have a superior one like they've they've had. So what they got to do is they got to play smarter football, and they can definitely do that with the depth they have and with the quarterback they have. But what they also have to do is they have to be composed and not take stupid penalties. I do think that's going to play a fact with their season, because it seemed like they took a lot of penalties against the Riders, and if they weren't playing bad teams like the Riders, those penalties can come back to haunt them.
True.
So
True. The 35-12 win, though, that was nice.
That, and I do want to see a little bit more from the special teams.
Me too.
The good kick return, a good punt goes a long ways in games.
That was the one thing that the Riders had that really actually shone. It was the only thing. Their special team, their kick return was actually quite good.
And that's something the Eskimos have actually not had in a long time, is a good kick returner. I mean, living in the days where they had Gizmo Williams, who was a really good kick returner.
Played for 24 seasons.
That's something that, I mean, they could still use that today. That's going to help them down the road. So I hope they identify that and they have an answer for that, because I do think special teams and composure. And I hope consistency is a factor for them, but we've seen it in the last couple of years where they've had winning streaks and they've had losing streaks, but they not necessarily were always the most consistent team, where they just played 18 games of consistent football. That is what I want to see out of them this season.
Yes. And for all you fans out there of the Eskimos, I got season tickets. Find me I'd say at least 3/4 of the games this year.
Yeah.
Unless I'm working. So, yeah. Check all the social medias. You can come say hi. And I will give you a high five. Hooray. Now, the last thing I have for other sports before we get to wrestling. Did you see the Liverpool goalie hand the game to Real Madrid? Whew!
I'm going to say this proudly. Hell no.
You know how I saw it? After party for CWC. It was on one of those highlight reels, and man, did he shit the bed. First goal, he threw it to the opposing team, who scored. Second goal, I'll admit, really nice goal. Third goal scored on him, literally between his hands. As a goalie, you know, one who predominantly stops soccer balls, you think you'd, I don't know, have an inkling, especially in, say, I don't know, championship game, to potentially stop a ball. Instead of having to go through your fingers.
It's all the shots they have. It's hard.
Yeah. People are calling for his blood. Like, they're death threats and everything. You know what? I'm not condoning death threats by any means. But a little roasting of the guy, absolutely. It looked like he threw the game. You go back and watch the way he tried to stop.
You know, based on one of the goals, he kind of did throw it into the hands of the other players.
Exactly.
So.
And actually, the one, that really nice goal, he actually looked like he pulled back a little bit. It kind of looked a little like he threw the game. Not a lot, but a little bit. So that's the truth. You heard it here first. He threw the game, and I exposed his ass.
At the same time, if he just had a really bad game, it's acceptable to understand why he did stupid things. Because we all know, when we have a bad day, sometimes we just do stupid things.
You know it's not a stupid thing, though?
Going to whatamaneuver.net.
You're goddamn right it is!
And why is it not stupid?
Because you go to whatamaneuver.net, you can get retro WE t-shirts, hoodies, baby onesies, sweaters. Or you can go original The Struggle, which I'm going to get into in a horny hour here.
Let's get into it now.
Sidebar from this advertisement. What the fuck is going on with everybody calling us The Struggle? We haven't been The Struggle in over the year.
Okay, with a little bit of a correction, people. Yes, when we started this up, Mike and I were called The Struggle. We also became Tag Struggle. Shortly after Tag Struggle, Sean Martins joined. Therefore, Tag Struggle with a 3 at the end of the name. Still pronounced Tag Struggle, not Tag Struggle 3.
Which
just
became
Tag Struggle. Only because we made fun of people.
Sure.
That's what it was. Since the actions of one fucktard Sean Martins,
Dick Knuckle!
we are still known as Tag Struggle. There is just no 3 at the end.
There have been talks about moving a 2 in certain places. We have not confirmed or denied this yet. We're open to suggestion. We probably won't use yours, but we're open to it.
We're working on ideas.
We have some stuff rolling around the old brain.
And you know what? Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, we decide, you know what? Maybe we still want to have 3 people in the Fed. We don't know.
I'm thinking maybe we get a 4.
We could have 3. We could have 4. You never know. We could have a load of ring rats right behind us just willing.
Maybe we contact our honorary member, Mick Foley, have him officially join.
Maybe his daughter is excited as well.
She can join too. Not Frank the Clown, though.
Yeah, but maybe Dewey. He seems to know how to write a few pages of interesting stuff, so
bring him in.
Maybe.
Anyways, when we were done that, buy our stuff, and if you want something more current, I think we're actually out of t-shirts. We might have like a couple kid sizes and like a 2XL, but that's it. We're basically sold out of the t-shirts.
So we need your demand so we can enhance our supply.
That and possibly come up with a new design. Possibly.
That too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you want to stay fresh. You want to evolve. You want to not be stale.
Exactly. No stale for this guy.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Backbreaker Media, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Podcast Player, and fuck YouTube. It's on there, but don't do it.
Yeah.
And BackbreakerVOD.com. Use promo code TakeStruggle, and you get 3 months for half off after you get 2 weeks for free. Moving on. Wrestling!
What about it?
It happens occasionally.
Yeah.
Like this past weekend. What happened to you this past weekend? What happened to me this past weekend?
We had a bad night.
I did. I got screwed over. A fast count.
Hey, I was put in a match I wasn't really advertised for, so...
I got fast counted by that fucking Bush person. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, nobody likes Bush people.
I had...
The beer's okay, but the people are not cool.
I had a Liverpool goalie kind of night. On the same night, the Liverpool goalie had a Liverpool goalie kind of night.
I had a guy walk out at me because he failed.
So that guy can barely use a chair properly. I keep offering to show him how, but he's too much of a poon.
In my defense, I mean, all you had to do is hold the guy up so I can super kick him, and you let him go, and I kicked you in the face. It's kind of more your fault than mine.
I'm going to say 70-30.
So the fact that you spat in my face, and the fact that you walked out, just kind of showed how immature and, baby-like you are, so.
Yeah.
The fact that I then was thrown to the wolves, so to speak, I mean, really, my hands raised for, putting in the fight of a champion.
There you go.
So, I mean, that's all I have to say.
Fair enough. So I don't have a lot this week for wrestling. Key points are Stacy Keibler's pregnant. And
Zelina Vega and Angelina Love now have nudes leaked out.
We talked about Zelina Vega last week, but Angelina Love has joined that illustrious group.
So, a former dater of Austin Aries, and a Mrs. Davey Richards. Boom.
Are they still together?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Fair enough. Speaking of which, Austin Aries.
Yeah.
He had 5 airport security guards called on him in Montreal because he's being too verbally abusive, apparently.
Well, is it because they were trying to touch his banana?
No, because apparently the Montreal airport sucks. And his original flight from Quebec City was delayed, and then he got there and didn't have time, missed his flight, and got angry. And the woman working the Air Canada desk, which he swore he'd never ride again, was just not helping.
Well,
so there's that.
Hey, he'd love to do WestJet, But the pilots are on strike.
Actually, they're not. They avoided the strike.
Good, because I'm flying down later in a few months, and I wanted...
I'm flying WestJet in holy shit, that's like a week and a bit from now. Week and a half from now.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I'm on vacation soon!
There you go.
Whee!
I literally bought a seat on WestJet the day of the strike.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
Very ballsy.
Discounted, though.
Fair enough.
If it's over, smart move.
Fair enough. See that CM Punk was allegedly backstage at All In press conference, but just picking up shirts.
Allegedly.
And apparently he's actually also pushing for the lawsuit to go to trial, which I guess starts today.
Supposedly.
So supposedly, I guess
Could have had a continuance.
The whole defense and whatnot that they have, I guess, is built up, and they feel strong enough that they can actually win it and countersue for more than $1 million. That they're like, you know what? Screw it. We want to go to trial. Screw you guys. And I guess WWE and Dr. Chris Amann, or whatever his name is, has actually been delaying. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a continuance in that one.
Yeah.
So, hey, out of the two parties, one definitely can let this trial run its course, and one really cannot.
I don't know. I think CM Punk's kind of somewhat smart with money, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not. Hey, he doesn't have as much money as WWE, though.
That's very true.
WWE
doesn't.
Nobody paid $2.4 billion to watch CM Punk, but they did pay WWE to watch Raw and SmackDown.
I paid $240 to watch CM Punk, but it'd be live, front row, and I'd hang out with him after. That's my conditions.
Now, speaking of CM Punk, he is a couple weeks, less than
a month away.
Well, it's not even a month.
I'd say 2.5 weeks.
Well, today is the 29th, so he's about 11 days away from...
Is that it?
Yeah, June 9th.
Oh.
So 11 days from his next fight in the UFC, and Dana White flat out said if he doesn't win this fight, he is most likely done with the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Bellator, here he comes.
You know what? So it's not out of the realm that if he loses his UFC fight and he wants to keep in the combative sports or entertainment aspect, an All-In performance could very well be
he can get all in, baby.
It's in Chicago. So is UFC in 11 days.
Was it,
so
225 or some shit?
Something like that. But nonetheless, he doesn't have to really leave anywhere.
True.
And he would just have an MMA suspension, not a pro wrestling one.
Very true.
So,
I would assume that his no-compete clause is probably close to over by now, eh?
WWE?
Yeah.
Well, seeing how it's been 4 years?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
I think 90 days is done after...
you would think, yeah.
I don't know, the first 90 days.
Speaking of Chicago, did you know there's an NXT TakeOver the night before Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
That shocked the hell out of me. I didn't realize they were doing one.
Oh, yeah, they do one every, I think 3 or 4 months.
I figured they'd wait until SummerSlam.
Gotta do the big... Oh, there will be one for SummerSlam and Survivor Series.
No, fair enough, but I didn't realize they'd do one for
I think the
Money
one in SummerSlam is Brooklyn, 4?
I think so. At least 3, but maybe 4.
I believe it's 4, because I think Brooklyn 3 was the last one, wasn't it?
Probably.
One where we saw E debut.
Who's?
Adam Cole.
Baby?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's where Drew McIntyre won the NXT Championship.
You're right.
Yeah. And fuck you, pigs.
Beggar.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of cool.
So I
know. I don't know much about it, but I know that they have announced tag title defense.
The ACBE is almost 1 year old in NXT. Adam Cole Baby Experience. Come on. Stay with me.
Fair enough. That's all right. I know that they have announced tag title defense between Undisputed Era, consisting of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, versus, I don't know if they have a name, but Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Yeah.
That's going to be, their 6-man tag they had, I loved. It was good. I think it's going to be a good match. I'm assuming there's going to be title defenses, the usual.
Well, I'm sure they're also going to announce Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream.
That's going to be good.
They've announced Aleister Black will be defending the NXT Championship against Lars Sullivan.
He will, officially?
Yeah.
Okay.
They haven't announced anything yet for Adam Cole
Baby.
and Pete Dunne.
Baby.
So, I believe the women's title,
Baby.
we're going to see Shayna Baszler probably against Nikki Cross.
Baby.
I want to say that's probably where they're going.
My question is, for every takeover now, it's always been 5 matches. So you already
Last
have
one was
2.
6.
Last one was 6?
I believe the last one was 6.
I guess you have 1 unsanctioned. So if they go 6, you know what? We're okay. We have all the stuff we need.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Ciampa Gargano match.
Yeah. So let's go through here. There's the heavyweight, the women's.
Well, the world title. It's not a heavyweight. It's a world title.
World title?
Yeah.
North American title?
Maybe.
Baby.
Maybe with Baby.
Maybe. So.
Maybe on the Baby, because it's not done with Dune. Or it's not done with Dunn yet.
Maybe champion for champion. Gotta take care of both those titles.
You know what? I actually much rather see an UK title defense than a North American title.
Fair enough.
If that's going to be the situation.
But yeah, we got the world title, the women's title, tag titles. There's 3 matches.
Yeah.
It looks like they're shaping up to do another Ciampa Gargano. That's 4.
Dream and Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet. It's 5. And then you say either a UK or a
possible
North American
EC3
baby.
match.
Possible EC3. So you have options.
Nope. I think you'll see 6 matches, and then obviously you're going to have a couple matches that are taped kind of before the show starts that you'll see on TV later. We've seen that in the past, too.
I think, personally, Adam Cole Bebe is too big now not to have him on it.
Well, I think that he is a champion. He's also the latest champion that has... his title was just created last takeover.
Yeah.
And he is part of your biggest faction. The Undisputed Era is undisputably your biggest drawing point for your heels. They are your biggest stable. They kind of took it away from Sanity very quickly.
Yes, it did.
And then
Which, by the way, have we seen them on SmackDown?
Not yet.
No. Okay.
So, I think after Money in the Bank, maybe Money in the Bank. That's my prediction.
Fair enough.
One of the 2. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's out of the possibility that we'll see a UK title match between the 2 or a North American title match out of the 2.
This just in from my phone. Ilya Kovacev's agent, J.P. Barry, he looks like he's in discussion with teams interested in bringing Kovacev back to the NHL.
Yeah, we already knew that he was a UFA wanting to come back to the NHL this season. But yeah, knowing that he's...
I guess the New York Rangers have expressed interest.
I don't think they will, based on the fire sale they had last season.
Yeah.
Or this season, sorry.
But the fact that his agent's in talks, there's a sign he might be coming back.
Well, I think, of course, too, because we look at it as of... Today is May 29th, and couple days it's June, and then the very next month, July 1, that's free agency. So, I
think it'd be hilarious if we went back to New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen.
Probably not, but you never know. Having Hersher, Hall, and Kovalchuk on one line would be pretty impressive. And the other thing I have for wrestling is, does anybody take Jim Cornette seriously anymore? How he calls out Ibushi and Omega online. It's like he keeps calling people out. Like, he goes silent for a while, and then when no one's talking about him, he just calls them out. I know he's just trying to get attention, create heat, but at this point, I don't even like...
Here's my kind of thing. Did you ever take him seriously before?
No. But I'm getting annoyed by it. Like, I'm sure that's what he's trying to do, is get people to hate him and whatnot. But really, at this point, like... I know he's a legend, blah, 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 but... I don't care. Like, if I was to meet him at CAC, I don't think I'd be all that, like, holy fuck, you're Jim Cornette. I'd be like, hi, you're kind of a dick.
I just want to know, like, hey, do you ever play tennis, or do you just have a racket because you're weird?
I just want to kind of know, like, are you trying to get over, but the only way you know how is to be an arrogant cunt?
Well, I mean, clearly he has his own opinion on how wrestling should be and how it should be presented. And he dislikes a lot of the current day talent. Maybe that's a sign of him just doing this to get back in the headlines. Maybe this is him just saying, look, I don't like the way you work and I'm going to be opinionated about it. Or 3, this could just be him of being so stuck in the past that he's not embracing the future for what it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? I mean, I personally would love it to have that conversation. So, Jim Cornette, if by chance you listen and you want to come on the Sound Struggle and, let us know, I'm willing to bring him in.
I'm willing to have him try to yell at me and call me a dick because I think he's kind of an idiot for not being not stupid.
No.
We'll have a verbal sparring match.
There you go. I mean, he has an open invite because, well, let's face it, we're not picky.
No, it's true. Just listen in a few weeks, you'll find out we're not picky.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we obviously aren't going to talk about Raw because, I mean, let's face it, it's all going and moving towards Money in the Bank anyway, and it's still a few weeks away. So.
I'll be honest, I saw the first match and then fell asleep.
Yeah.
I had to watch 9 working days. So
we'll talk again maybe next week or the week after and have more of a solidification of our opinions of where this is going to Money in the Bank with Money in the Bank predictions and all that. So
I'm going to say we have to make our Money in the Bank predictions next week because 2 weeks from now, I'll be on the vacation.
But the people know that we do record beforehand.
That's true.
So, we also have a show this Saturday at the Alberta Ave Community Hall with Monster Pro Wrestling.
I was just about to ask, hey man, what are you doing on Saturday?
Well, you know what? I mean, we kind of think alike, and I saw, and I was listening to my head and be like, you know what we should do? And then all of a sudden I just heard your voice, shut the fuck up, Perish. We need to advertise our upcoming appearances.
Goddamn right, voice in your head.
So, I decided to say, fuck you, Audio Maniac. I'm going to do this my way.
Well, fuck you, actual Perish. That's rude. How dare you?
But I'm not done with the audio or the mental conversation we had.
Oh, it's deep.
Because then it's like, the other side of Perish is like, well, listen, I just want to make sure that we get on point and have a good podcast because we got beers to drink. And then my mind said, you know what, you're right, and that's a strugglicious idea, and I'm a little bit of all right with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the upcoming appearances so we could drink them beers. So the upcoming appearances is this Saturday at Alberta Ave Community Hall, 9210 118th Ave. MPW, Monster Pro Wrestling, is going to have the Leo Bird Cup.
Okay, I want to say 2 things. First off, that was a hell of a jog you just did to get around all that, but I respect the shit out of it. And second, you goddamn right we have that this weekend.
Yeah.
You have Christopher F. Perish, as in Christopher fucking Perish.
It's actually Christopher M.F. Perish.
Christopher motherfucking Perish! I believe you're in the tournament, are you not?
Yeah.
This is a bit of a sore spot because this will be the first time. Well, I shouldn't actually. It's not the first time. The second time since the incarnation of this tournament that I'm not in it. But both times I wasn't in it, it's because I was a champion. So I mean, I'm torn. It's bittersweet.
I've been in all of them.
I know it's bittersweet because I want to be in it.
I've won one.
I know. But I say bittersweet. I'd love to be in it.
I mean,
but I'm a champion, so I'm okay with not being.
You know what annual one I won?
What?
The number 3.
Right on.
Yeah. So, because I believe the past champions were Massive Damage number 1.
Yeah.
Jackhammer number 2.
Yeah.
Me number 3.
Yeah.
And then we had the Irishman number 4.
Yeah.
Steve Rivers number 5. So this marks the 6th annual Leo Bird Cup.
And if memory serves, and if I know math like I think I do, which I don't, I think you're poised to win again. It seems like every 3 years it seems to be your thing.
Right. So, 3 years ago I did it.
Exactly. Why not now?
Yeah.
Then, now, forever.
And again.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what you're going to be able to see. So if you want tickets, let us know. They're $15 advance, 20 at the door. But we all know that we're not going to make you pay $20. We'll hook you up at 15 day of the show because that's just what we do.
Hook you up. Your boys will hook you up. And you best believe, if and when that motherfucker... No. I can't say it like that because that's your middle name. That motherfucker... Yeah, that was better. Sean Martins shows his ugly, twisted, fucking wrinkle cum-covered dome in our goddamn ring. I'm probe his butthole with all parts of my body. Sexually and otherwise.
Yeah, and he's a twat-flavored vagina.
Oh, not a vagina-flavored vagina.
No.
That's the worst.
Sweaty twat-flavored vagina. Or Calgary flavored. Same thing. It's been tested.
Numbers don't lie.
I'm just saying it's been tested. Calgary is twat flavored.
Anyways.
Yeah.
That's all I got, bro.
It's not flame broiled. It's twat flavored.
Flame broiled. It's cum dumpstered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see those everywhere.
Sure enough.
With that being said, I mean, it's time for the finish, clearly.
Yeah, money shot!
So, come to Alberta Ave this Saturday, June the 2nd. Yes, people, it's June already.
Holy
What?
poop!
Yeah. Also, it's the Irishman's birthday, so make sure that his fat ass is welcomed with a happy 40th birthday. Yeah, I had to throw that out because...
Happy 40th! Bring him beer, because then we can have some too!
Well, or
Alcohol!
bring us beer and get him...
Tequila! Tequila!
Well,
No, Irish car bombs. Not the device.
bring
Drink.
some of those, like, decorational buzzards, and then we'll put them all across the ring and make them feel really old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, make sure you grab the tickets because, guess what? You're going to want to see this. Earlier in that night, I will beat whoever sends it my way and become a 2-time Leo Burke Cup champion.
A 2-time Leo Burke Cup
2-time.
champion.
Also, you know the number 2 is known for? Duties.
We brought it around!
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, poop.
Dropped it like it's hot.
Steaming. Coiler.
Yeah, come for a good time, and then...
Go to the after party, get hammered.
And it'll be a little bit of alright.
It will be a little bit of
You know why?
Why?
Because we are Tech Struggle.
We are real.
And we are...
Spectacular.
Later, bitches! Woot, woot.
When your heart's pounding out of your chest, you can feel the rope shaking as you're running out of breath. If you're ready to rock, we'll just let it roll. Are you ready now? Are you ready to move?